We are told to forgive for our own well-being, and that is true. But how easy is it to forgive someone who has really hurt you? I got divorced 28 years ago after having 3 children. My marriage wasn't always bad, and we did have lots of fun in between the hard times. My highlight was taking part in my children's lives. Their sports matches, watching them grow into teenagers with their different personalities, and then growing into adults. And during this time, unfortunately, my husband and I slowly grew apart. I should probably add that I was just 17 when we married, and I hadn't even felt what life was like or had to offer me yet. I hadn't finished my high school career, so I decided at the age of 35 to do exactly that. And after attaining my matric, as we call it in this country, I had a desperate yearning for knowledge. So I continued to study at night classes because I worked during the day. I suppose he could have joined me, but he didn't. We grew further and further apart. The reason for the final end of our marriage after 28 years is unimportant. It was going to happen sometime anyway, so why hang on to the details? But he and I were left with such anger towards each other. Nobody knows how angry we were with each other. We could barely be in each other's company. And having children and grandchildren sometimes forced us into the same situations. It wasn't pleasant. It wasn't pleasant for anyone who noticed. I made up my mind that I was going to forgive him. I was not going to allow myself to get ill by holding anger and grudges for the rest of my life. That would have been the final insult for me. I wasn't going to talk to him about it. I would simply, in my own mind, release the anger and forgive him. Not that easy. It took a long time of some serious visualization and meditation. In fact, years worth. And I think that I finally did find peace with him. And then he got ill. Only my one daughter was living in the same city, so she took on all the hospital visits, ensuring he had everything he needed to make his last days more comfortable. She was so kind to him. I never visited him in the hospital. I just didn't think it was necessary. We didn't have that type of relationship. Until one day my daughter phoned me, sounding quite distraught. "Mom," she said, "I have a meeting this evening, and that means I can't get to the hospital, and I can't see Dad, and I can't take him what he needs for the night." "I'll go," I said, even before giving it much thought. My main feeling at that stage was to take away the burden that was on my daughter's shoulders. And so I went to the hospital. I walked into the ward, And he was sitting on the side of his bed, just looking out of the window. I sat down on the chair that was provided, and after asking after his health, we chatted about superfluous things and kept the conversation going for a while. It was light, but it was fun. After spending what I thought was a decent amount of time there, I said to him that I would be going. He stood up from his bed and put out his arms, and I responded by putting out my arms and hugging him back. We never said a word, but there was an intense feeling of I'm sorry from both of us. That's all. Nothing more needed to be said. We stood there and we genuinely forgave each other for all the areas in which we'd both gone wrong. I said goodbye to him and I left, feeling like I'd put down an enormous burden I'd been carrying around for years, and knowing that I had truly forgiven him that night. He died that night,